Hi, I'm Mike Smiley, founder of My Skin's Friend. I've got a special treat for you today. Bill Wainwright, our chief formulator, is joining us by phone to explain how My Skin's Friend Sunless Tanner was created, how it works, why it's good for your skin, and why it quickly became our bestseller. Bill, welcome.
Oh, well, thanks, Mike.
Bill, we hear a lot of great things about our Sunless Tanner, one of which is the fact that it doesn't smell like all the other Sunless Tanners smell. Why is that?
The reason most sunless tanners have what I call that funky smell is because the DHA, which everybody uses to create the reaction so that you do get the browning effect on the skin, that is a very reactive molecule. And if you mix that with chemicals, which virtually all sunless tanning creams or sprays or whatever on the market inevitably have, the DHA reacts with these chemicals and it creates other chemicals through that reaction. And what you end up with is a product that has like formic acid and formaldehyde, which when you get that funky smell, that's actually the smell that you're smelling is those chemicals that have reacted with the DHA and created even more toxic chemicals, and that's why you're smelling the smell that you smell. Now, the reason that you don't have that funky smell with this particular sunless tanner is because it's as pure as you're going to find in any sunless tanner out here, and it contains no chemicals that the DHA can react with to create any type of toxicity to the product so it would have that funky smell. So that's one point. The other point is instead of just getting a kind of a surface browning effect, this particular sunless tanner has a raspberry extract that we actually do ourselves. And what it does, it actually creates a increase in the melanin below the surface of the skin so that over the course of, say, like a 48-hour span, you're gradually darkening a little bit more over an extended period of time, which gives you a more realistic tanning look. And we add another ingredient to the product. It's called chaga mushroom. And chaga mushroom is about the only thing in the natural kingdom that will stimulate your body's own production of melanin, which melanin is what actually, creates the darkening effect in the skin. And the greater the melanin content, the darker the skin. So in this chaga mushroom extract that we add to the sunless tanner, in order for that to work and be effective, it takes almost 1 year to do the extraction process on that particular ingredient. So that's why you don't see it in very many products, is because it's a very involved process of getting that particular ingredient into the sunless tanner. And those are, three, I think, very important highlights about that product.
Does it work as well on people who are fair complected as it does on those with, say, an olive skin or maybe a propensity to tan faster?
Yeah, it absolutely will. It's you'll get a little bit different color with the sunless tanner with someone that has darker skin than someone that has lighter skin. But with that being said, there are some lighter-skinned people that just have thrown the towel in the ring as far as being able to get any kind of a tan on their skin. And this sunless tanner gives them a viable option to have darker color skin without, damaging their skin or, with the sun. And most, really fair complected people they have a problem with getting any kind of color to the skin at all. I mean, they just turn red. So, and all they end up doing is getting sunburn. And with this sunless tanner, they will actually get a darkening of the skin. So it's a viable option and solution for those people.
We know that getting a tan via the sun can damage the skin, but getting a suntan with our Sunless Tanner can actually improve the skin. Tell us how that works, Bill.
Well, with the Sunless Tanner, actually, after you use tanner, your skin's going to be healthier than it was before. So there's really no other option out there that I can think of other than this particular Sunless Tanner that can actually make that claim. Because if you go in a tanning bed or you go out into the sun and you get a tan that way, or if you use one of the other Sunless Tanners in the place, with the toxic level of chemicals that they invariably have, you're actually causing damage to the skin. With this particular tanner, you're not. And with the chaga mushroom extract that we add to the Sunless Tanner, that is one of the most powerful boosters of an antioxidant called glutathione that is available in the natural kingdom. And there's nothing more powerful out there on boosting that in the skin than chaga mushroom. So glutathione is the antioxidant that when the sun damages the skin, it creates what's known as the oxyl free radicals, which are extremely damaging and just very deadly. Any cell that comes in contact with one of those free radicals is going to get destroyed. And the glutathione is the only thing that is really effective at deactivating that damaging free radical. And so when you spray the Sunless Tanner on your skin, not only are you getting, a natural-looking tan, but you're also boosting the levels of glutathione in the skin, so you're giving yourself really good protection against the damaging effects of the sun rays.
Bill, I know it probably varies with skin types, but in general, how long after they apply those first 3 coats can they expect to start seeing a tan?
Well, it doesn't have a lot of these Sunless Tanners, get that kind of immediate, kind of orangey, fake tanning look to the skin. And that's primarily caused by, these bronzers that they add to it, like, there's certain chemicals that you can add that sort of stain the skin. And in this particular tanner, we have none of that in there. So when you're getting the actual tanning effect, it's really being created from a reaction in the skin and not a staining. So within a few hours, normally you're going to start noticing a change of color in the skin, and that color will keep increasing, like I say, over a period of about 48 hours. Now, if you're really wanting to get dark colored skin very quickly, then what you would do is you would spray the Sunless Tanner on the body. I recommend that you spray at least 3 times, and that way you ensure that you give yourself full coverage, because you may spray yourself one time and you kind of miss it. But we found with experience that if you spray it 3 times as one application, you get 100% coverage that way. And then just do that, either one time or maybe 2 times. You could do that up to 3 times in one day. And within 48 to 72 hours, you're going to look like you've been at the beach for a couple of weeks.
Another benefit to My Skin's Friend Sunless Tanner, because it doesn't have any pigment in it, you won't find that it'll do like some of those other Sunless Tanners, and that is it'll rub off on your blouse or your dresses, or maybe you'll see your tan on your pillow the next morning. That's a big deal.
Well, it's like I was just telling you, it has no staining agents in it, and the product absorbs down into the skin, and so there's nothing really left on the surface of the skin that's going to stain anything. So you can use the Sunless Tanner, you can let it absorb into the skin, say for anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes, depending on how much you've sprayed on, and put your clothes on and go about and do your business, and you'll be fine. There's no staining effect to it.
So once they have applied it 3 times, waited the 48 hours, and seen the shade they're going to be, what if they're not dark enough? What do you recommend then?
Well, you keep using it until you reach the color that you want. Once you get the color you want, and maintaining is really pretty easy. I mean, that can be, you could do an application once every 2 to 3, maybe up to 4 days, and maintain your color.
Bill, is the Sunless Tanner safe for expectant mothers to use?
Yeah, absolutely. One of my best friends, who's an esthetician, when we initially, years ago, were doing the initial testing on the product, she was pregnant. She used the tanner throughout her pregnancy, and yeah, it's perfectly safe to use in that regard.
They can spray it directly on their face and not worry about it tanning their hair, right?
No, you're not going to have really any effect on the hair. If you're going to spray it on the face, which I do, just kind of hold my breath and I spray it on my face and do it that way. And no, it's perfectly fine to just spray on the face.
Bill, thanks for spending a few minutes with us to explain a little further about how My Skin's Friend Sunless Tanner came about, how it works, how it benefits the skin every time you use it, and why it has rapidly become our best-selling item.
Oh, you're welcome.
So there you go, the latest on My Skin's Friend Sunless Tanner. Remember, everything you order from My Skin's Friend comes with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. It must live up to your expectations or your money back.